shape now than I've ever been in my life. Are we done?
Try to artificially give yourself cauliflower ear.
Not artificially, deliberately. It's better to regret the things you have done than to regret the things you haven't done. That trick went on to become my bread and butter. For the most part, I feel beloved, and I'm tremendously grateful for that. The worst part, crazy pressure I put on myself to be enough, and it'll never work.
Welcome to Fast Ones, the show where we ask 10 questions in 10 minutes as we ramp from 1 mile an hour to 10 miles an hour. Today we have a very special guest, Jackass star, podcast, comedian, stuntman extraordinaire, Steve-O. Welcome to the show.
8, 9, and 10 definitely burned me out. Yeah, dude, right on.
Okay, Steve-O, you have a super interesting career, life story, all that. I'm curious to know a little bit about your upbringing and how that influenced the career that you laid out for yourself.
My upbringing was geographically diverse. I lived in 5 different countries growing up.
Like military family, or what was
I was a corporate brat.
Yeah,
correct. Born in England, moved to Brazil when I was 6 months old, spoke my first words in Portuguese. Moved to Venezuela when I was 2, spoke fluent Spanish throughout nursery school. Moved to Connecticut when I was 4, attended kindergarten there. Moved to Miami, Florida when I was 6. Moved to England when I was 9, finished 4th grade.
All right, let's bump this to 2.
In England. Moved to Canada when I was 12.
Okay, so you moved around a ton, and what do you think about that influenced you to go into Jackass and everything else?
My dad was a corporate executive. I had a privileged upbringing, which is counterintuitive given what I did for a living. Mom's side of the family, super alcoholic, a lot of, like everybody in the family. Dad's side of the family, super academic, driven. So it's kind of a hybrid of deviance and drive.
All right. If you could go back in time to a younger version of yourself before a specific stunt that you've done and give yourself a piece of advice around that stunt, what would it be? What stunt, what would you say?
I would say that when you're in India, on the balance beam, over the hot coals with the unicycle, just commit to the bit, dude. You know? Yeah. Like I couldn't commit both feet to the pedals of the unicycle on the balance beam over the hot coals. And it was the most epic setup. By bitching out, that one's done.
All right, so young Steve.
It's gonna hurt more to not get the footage. There's a saying, it's better to regret the things you have done than to regret the things you haven't done. And
that's a bar, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bump this 1 mile an hour. Let's bump this to 3. Okay, so Steve-O, you went to clown school. We did a little research. You went to clown school. Was there one lesson that you learned in clown school that has stuck with you?
Yeah, my skills instructor was drinking beers with us at our lodging facility. You know, we had an apartment complex all the clowns were in. All of a sudden he says, "Oh, dude, it's like curfew. I'm not allowed to be here. I gotta go." So he's like kind of headed toward his car to get out of there so he won't be in trouble. And then he says, on the way, he says, "Oh, but Steve-O, you're, coordinated and flexible. There's a bar trick that would be good for you. You balance a cup on your forehead. You say you're gonna drink it without using your hands, and then you lay down, pick it up off your head with your knees, put it on the ground, pick it up with your teeth. But I gotta go." And I took that information, I went running into my apartment, filled a cup, pulled the trick, and then tore out into the parking lot, caught him in his car before he got away. I said, "Already pulled it." And I tell that story because that trick went on to become my bread and butter. I would walk into bars with no money whatsoever and drink after drink after. I just a ticket to drink for free.
All right, let's bump this to 5. Okay, how do you think you're gonna do at the end here at 10? We're at half pace.
When I run on my own, I try to breathe through my nose for as long as possible.
It's great for the diaphragm.
Yeah.
So at this point, we have to take a shot of Ketone-IQ. So this is the brain juice, the Navy SEAL juice. Cheers. Alrighty, what's the best thing about being Steve-O? What's the worst thing about being Steve-O? And let's bump it to 6.
The best thing about being Steve-O is that for the most part, like wherever I go, I'm warmly receptive. You know, like
Yeah. Beloved.
It's douchey to say that myself, but for the most part, I feel beloved, and I'm tremendously grateful for that. The worst part, crazy pressure I put on myself to, I don't know, to be enough, and it'll never work.
Jon Jones, world heavyweight champion, said the same thing. Like, he's always worried he's gonna fail. Yeah. Your cock and balls are often at the front line of the stunts and comedy you do. Why are dicks and balls so funny? And let's bump it to 7.
Dicks and balls are funny because people are afraid to show them. People are weird about it.
Yeah, so breaking through the weirdness makes it funny. I was hanging out with Jon Jones over the weekend, and there was this stunt that you did with him where you try to artificially give yourself cauliflower ear.
Not artificially, deliberately.
Deliberately. How did that stunt come about?
I just became a big fan of MMA, and I got jealous of the fighters for having it. I thought it looked cool, and I thought having cauliflower ear.
Now let's bump it to 8. You thought having cauliflower ear would be cool?
Respect.
Okay, we're at 8. We're moving now, and you're holding on great. What do you do to stay active? You were showing me your Strava profile beforehand. You're a pretty active dude.
Yeah, I ride my bike a lot.
What are those?
I hike a lot. I skateboard.
Yeah.
I run a little.
And you're fitter now than you were when you were at 30, yeah?
Big time. I think I'm in better shape now than I've ever been in my life.
Incredible. What's a stunt that you haven't done either because it's too scary or too expensive or some other reason?
I'm working on one right now. It's expensive to drive a car out of an airplane.
Whoa.
It'll be a good finish to a car that has a good story.
Yeah. All right, let's bump to 9. If you hadn't gotten into performing and stunts and entertainment, what do you think you would have done?
I wanted to do advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar. It's a similar vibe, right? Because you're trying to like break through people's attention.
Yep.
Okay, check out this picture here. This is a famous one of you. You've done a lot of wild stuff, but what's going on here in this picture?
I got my butt cheeks pierced together.
Okay, a few just quick hits for the second to fastest speed right now. Okay, what's the top of your music playlist?
Cirque du Soleil.
Okay, what's the best bone to break and the worst bone to break?
Oh God. I broke a lot of bones in my ankle.
All right, bump it to 10. This is the last minute. Dude, hold on. Great, dude. All right, okay. Spiders or snakes?
Spiders.
Okay, pancakes or omelet for breakfast?
Omelet.
Okay, mountains or beach?
Mountain.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Steak or sushi?
Sushi.
What's your most prized possession?
My RV.
What do you love about living in an RV?
Everything. Are we done?
All right, we're done. All right.
Sorry I didn't do more.
Bro, great stuff, man. Way to hang on to that. Last question, just want to give you a chance to shout out anything you're working on. Stay on the treadmill for a minute. Just,
Yeah.
Steve-O, what's next? Like, what do you want to shout out? Any?
My super dummy tour.
Cool.
I have a comedy tour. It's called Steve-O's Super Dummy Tour. And it's about the challenges of trying to be badass at 50 years old and the triumph of pulling it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out Super Dummy. Check out Steve-O, the one and only. Steve-O, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, brother, thank you.
You crushed it. How you feeling? What are you going through?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. If
You've had worse.
If we kept it at a lower miles per hour, say like 6,
You go forever.
I could probably go for a long, long time. But yeah, the 10, 8, 9, and 10 definitely burned me out.
All right, well, thanks everyone. Drop a comment. Who else, what other guests you want to see on the show? Smash that like button, subscribe. Appreciate you. See you next time.
It's an impressive format, dude. I like it.